Putah Creek. I call it Putah Creek North. It's above the Lake Berryessa. It's above the canyons where I take you. And this is actually below the crossing that has now been all modified and made new. And there's a very no park zone. But there's still a lot of loose areas where you just gotta push through the willows and stuff. And as long as we all keep it happy and friendly, I think it'll probably stay this way until developed. It is developing fast. That is why we, a long time ago, we enacted state legislature, put in our constitution that all these riverways, every riverway, every creek in California would be public. And, you know, just to guarantee that development would never block it off, and it allows you to gain access when you are landlocked and all that type of stuff. But I moved far enough out. That's part of why I've been able to get out for the last month or so, is because I drive an hour, you know, sometimes just to get your basic needs anyway. So I've lived isolated with my family in a small development. That's how they do it in California. They build them way out sometimes. So I live in a place where there's about, I think, 100 and something houses all together, just sprawled out in a little canyon. And yeah, so today this is where we're at. I can tell you the location, and we're just gonna look through the rocks and see what we find. I know this is heavy hit. I've actually put this location in videos, and I see somebody's pile. Beautiful. But there's something about that I'm like, that's awesome, but we'll leave that. I just kind of enjoy the untouched. But I wanted you to see this one to set the setting, set the mood, and give you any information. I know sometimes you ask me for exact spots, and I can't always do that, just for various reasons. But when I can, when I do feel like there's enough room, and hoping still that nobody will cause trouble or get in trouble, either way, I'll let you know. So off we go. Start off with some basic quartz. Lots of that here. Not bad. It's like a rainbowy day. And we're getting a little bit of rain. These big boulders of jasper. The stuff in this area has this burgundy and yellow, but that's what I was saying about the rain. It will come along and clear things up for us so we can see better what they are. Oh, look at that. The yellow. That's not Scotch broom, that's an ephedra bush. See what I'm saying about the rain? Right before our eyes, things are changing. Yeah, these are big. No, jasper quartz chunks of different brands, different swirls. But yeah, I'm being kind of picky on this walk because such huge gravel beds, and because you never know when you're just gonna get big old agate. Let's go look at that. But let's walk slowly to the water and pick up anything else there is to see. That's got some cool quartz, some cool habits going on in its growth. To be an agate, really. Here's another one. You can see the agatization in it, but it doesn't get any more clear than that, even though that's a huge slab of it. We have to put that into the jasper category because it's not see-through. This one, however, looks like it's got some blue see-through areas. So if I get my little wiggly stick. Now suddenly, as the rain ebbs off, we are surrounded in a rainbow patch. Kind of like a portal stone, huh? Looks like the window out into that land that we always see in all of the other stones. This is how you get there. You have to hold this one up. That one's really cool. Keep falling in love with those, even though they're just, you know, like compressed ash, but something about that says that if we could go through there, we could wander clear across those lands to that mountain range. Okay, let's see if this is anything cool. Yeah, it's a big old gob of agate jasper. Chalcedony technically. Looks like it's got little square chunks maybe of some sort of, oh, I don't know, maybe a pyrite, because that comes square, but there's a few others. And you can see those inclusions go all through it. So. Okay, pause real quick, and we're gonna have to come out to the coast so I can show you ribbon shirt where it comes from. We're up in Highway 1 in California, and at the top of this is flat where the highway runs, and then more steep uphill, and those are all levels of continental shelf that have been lifted up and moved inland and moved inland again, which have formed these huge coastal terraces. Now out of that are all the different layers. So this is all sedimentary rock, meaning that from here and for 50 miles inland is all sedimentary stuff that came off the bottom of the ocean. Instead of getting shoved under the continent, some of it gets lifted up. And in that is this, and this is ribbon chert, and instead of being a salacious ooze that has formed nodules in chalk, which chalk is also decomposed little bodies that have fallen to the ground in the bottom of the ocean and formed layers, and then in that the silicates have formed little nodules. Those are flints and stuff. This is the silicates from billions and billions of little microscopic animals and their shells dissolving, and the silicate from that forming layers, and then those layers getting laid down in the bottom of the ocean until it slides inland and gets lifted up here in California, and we get ribbon chert. So as you see me pick these up in the river, these are where they come from. These are the big chunks, and You see how pure that looks? It can easily be mistaken for California jades, and look how thick that stripe is. It's the very same stuff that I'm picking up all the way inland by Clear Lake, on the Russian River, on the Eel River, all the way out to the Central Valley, basically, all of the coastal range. And you can see the layers here. You take this boulder, this is actually a boulder that is slid out of the sediments here. So the reason why it's all mixed up is because it gets jumbled and scrambled from the crushing and the accordion and things getting shoved inland. What made sense out on the bottom of the ocean in nice clean layers as it fell to the bottom gently and laid down in layers. As it gets near the coast, it encounters all of the plate tectonics, and in that massive disruption it gets just jumbled into almost unrecognizable strata. As far as patterns or any consistency goes, it'll change from one side of the road cut to the other. But when you say, in videos I've gotten comments, what are those little pieces that look like emeralds? It's here. These are these little broken up pieces, so it's like a breccia of chert. I don't want to take too much time out of a rock hounding video, but I did want to show you the mass scale at which it lays down. This is why it's called ribbon chert. You can see the ribbon layers and how it bends around. You can actually see here it folding into like a chevron, and then there'll be little impurities in between the layers. And I mean, that's the stuff if you recognize it. So there's something else I wanted you to see on the side of this huge mass of ribbon chert, which we know it is, and connected to it, and part of it, you see how it changes from greens, like almost jade green like we find all the time. Look how big that chunk is, just pure, to where it's gone into what, when we pick it up, looks like an agate. See the water lines in here? So if that was a broken up piece in a river, you'd say it was an agate because of the different water lines running through the whole thing. I mean, that's a huge gob of agate there, or jasper, but it's not. It's definitely a layer of decomposed, well, dissolved bodies of teeny tiny things off the ocean floor that's settled out. You know, you're talking like phytoplankton size stuff, I guess, that their shells dissolve and it makes the salacious ooze. And the only reason this doesn't look pretty is because it's been all rubbed up by the ocean coming through here, but you can see people have broken in on it here. Here's where it's gone white, greens, all the way down into our jade colors. Mixing of the green and the white together. So that was a layer of slime, salacious ooze off the bottom of the ocean. That was another, that was another. It's been lifted up. Now it's falling out of the cliffs. It looks rounded off because the waves have come and rounded it off. But yeah, now we get down in the middle of the layers. And there you have what would be classified as agate. So, once again, it's mostly, you know, the classifications of stones can go back and forth depending on what it looks like in hand, not necessarily how it was made. But yeah, that's just agate bands coming out of definite ribbon chert, coming out of definite sediment, definitely at the Pacific Ocean. This is another huge chunk of ribbon chert. You see why it's called ribbon chert, because of the different layers in here. Here's my foot reference. Layers. See it stacked up, so that's salacious ooze off the bottom of the ocean. That just layered up and layered up and layered up. And those are all different colors that can come in. So when you see me picking it up in the riverbeds, it has so many different colors. I mean, it comes in every color, from plain browns and greens all the way up to rosy porcelain and stuff. And that's how big of a chunk. Big chunk of jasper, beautiful reds in it, marbling and agates all through it. There's that ribbon shirt, jasper, red and blue and green shirts. It out, and I think somebody else didn't either, but they set it up for everybody to see. So this is one of these big milky agates, and it's been worn away, so you can actually see its striation, its water lines, and its other patterning. Those triangles, hexagons, all alien language etched into it, and then just a porous rock in the middle. So, kind of like a little quartzy geode thing. That's what was in the middle, and then that's its little rock lining, but very swirly. And don't get me wrong, you could cut that puppy up in certain ways. Like, look at that. For size reference, and it goes all the way through, so you could probably cut down through there and follow those lines in and get some cool stuff out of that. Not this guy, not today. We're dealing with see, loads of those. Those are all, it's kind of a caramelized chalcedony is what's healing back all the fractures, and it's breaking, and it's brachia, and it's breakage, and it's breakorama. Oh, nice. That one's been there for a while, but it's still rock art. Bloop. But now, that's beautiful. Thank you for putting me on this earth. Wow. See all the mustard seeds? There's a lot more of them than you would think when you start counting at first. That's a double rainbow. I'm glad we didn't miss that. I'm glad we turned around. Sometimes the light can be so distracting that you miss the things that it's created over in the gloom. It's good to be alive. It's good to be alive. Thank you for joining me on another quest for details. I hope some of the details were entertaining. I hope that entertainment brought up some good feelings in you, and inspired you to go out and seek your own spots and adventures and experiences. Until next time, quest on. We'll see you out there.